Thunderstruck is legendary. You'll find his picture under awesome in the dictionary. He's a wizard on the shifter and a wonder on the something. Yes, Buddy Thunderstruck. That's not the whole song, but, you know, you get it.
Sorry. Just to be clear, you said Buddy Thunderstruck?
Yep.
Buddy Thunderstruck.
Yep.
Thunderstruck, comma, Buddy.
Yep. He's legendary. You'll find his picture under awesome in the dictionary.
Kind of sounds like you might find it under Buddy or Thunderstruck.
No, you're wrong.
It would be under awesome.
You're blatantly incorrect. It'd be under awesome. Buddy Thunderstruck is the greatest show of all time. Convince me otherwise. Hey, everybody! Welcome to sayreportjr, podcast you should be listening to, subscribe to, and downloading every single week. I am one of your hosts, Dayle Decker.
I'm your other host, Zack. And my brain is broken.
Yeah, it is. Because I just dropped that on you, and you have no context.
I mean, I've gotten a little bit of context. I got that it's a show named Buddy Thunderstruck.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Let's see.
It's
what do I know about Dayle that will tell me about Buddy Thunderstruck, a thing I've never heard of before?
Ooh, this'll be fun.
It's on either Disney or Cartoon Network.
No.
Really?
Already
wrong. Oh, fuck.
Already wrong. It could have
animated?
been hold on.
Animated? Tell
yes.
me if it's animated. Okay, cool.
I will give you stop motion animated.
Okay.
And also I will give you Cartoon Network, but more like towards the Adult Swim, but not as raunchy. It's not raunchy at all, but think of Adult Swim shows, I guess.
Okay, but not explicitly not on the Cartoon Network.
But like kids could watch it.
Okay.
It's safe for children.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. To be fair, your parents thought that Ace Ventura was safe for Devin to watch, so.
Nah. I've never seen it. So, Buddy Thunderstruck is a stop-motion animation on Netflix, produced partially by Stupid Buddy Studios, so Robot Chicken guys.
Oh, okay. So, so I was actually relatively close within the Adult Swim oeuvre.
When you say Cartoon Network, you were pretty close. It's about a truck driving dog. He races. He's a racer. He's a truck driving racer. And his mechanic sidekick buddy, named Darnell. The dog is named Buddy. His name is Buddy Thunderstruck. And they live in Grease Pit, and the whole town is like loves Buddy. He's like the hometown favorite dude, and yeah, it's incredible, and everybody should watch it.
I'm literally on the Netflix page right now looking at it as the ad plays behind your voice. It looks very cool.
There's 12 episodes broken up into two 15-minute segments, give or take, and it is my new favorite show of all time. To the point where I watch it on my break at work, and I laugh so hard at the show. I feel so bad for my coworkers because I can't explain it. They just see that I'm watching some stop motion cartoon. And it's just so good. It's just so freaking good.
I mean, all I've heard since you mentioned Kipo and the Wonder Beast is how I've been watching people talk about how amazing it is. So I think I will take your recommendation on Buddy Thunderstruck as well. Yeah. I think Dayle might be a good indicator of good kids TV, everybody.
I mean, yeah, I've kind of been advocating, I've been that for a while.
I agree.
I mean, CJ and I's whole crossover episode was about children's shows. Which, Corn and Peg, also very good, but for toddlers. But yeah, no, I freaking love Buddy Thunderstruck. And apparently there's supposed to be a season 2, but this show came out in 2017 and like no word about the show and season 2. Just like it's coming.
Well, that sounds very Netflix,
Dot, dot,
unfortunately.
dot. Yeah.
That could be that could mean that what this is like a Canadian show or something that they're waiting for the rights to come over so they can then stream it or something like that.
I haven't looked too much into like that whole stuff, but because I want to watch the whole show first. But yeah, their catchphrase is "fart nugget." Anytime something goes wrong, it's "fart nugget," and yeah. I just love it. It's so good.
That sounds like this is gonna be a weird callback, but when I was telling you about the Sky Pirate role playing podcast campaign and the Courier's Call, the young adult version they made, there was an episode where they all sat down for 10 minutes and were like, "What do you guys say?" Because we're not going to swear on this. So what do you guys say? And they sat down for a few minutes. It's like, this is what this character would say when they're upset. And this is what this character would say when they're upset. That's just immediately what I thought of when you said that. I was like, yes, that's perfect.
The best part about it is like, it's kind of like the town swear. Like, there was an episode where the sheriff of the town said fart nugget. And I'm like, this is great. I like that it's not just Buddy and Darnell who say fart nuggets. It's like
it's
also,
a local colloquialism.
There you go.
Colloquialism. That's the word.
I promised.
Non sequitur? I don't know.
I made a promise to myself mentally in my brain that I would do everything in my power to say fart nugget on the episode and make it the title of the episode. And I think we've said it enough times, and that is the title of this episode.
Oh, we've said things once and made it the title of these episodes. Yes, that's totally fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how. Yeah. Buddy Thunderstruck, go watch it, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry, because
because that just means you're dead inside.
It's great. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I can't do anything for you. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say. Right? I showed a clip of it to Devin. A clip that made me laugh out loud at work. And like, to the point where coworkers didn't know I was on break, so they just heard me laughing, and they were like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Our sea lions are ridiculous.
Uncontrollable laughter is what happened. And so I came home and I showed Devin, and same kind of reaction came from Devin. And then I was like, Mom and Dad, please just let me show you a scene from the show.
Somebody else laugh at the fart nuggets. Make sure I'm not crazy. Everybody laugh at the fart nuggets.
Please. So I like put it up I got it up on the TV, or Devin got it up on the TV, and like my dad kind of just looked at me and like, what the hell was this? But my mom laughed. So like, it's
so
enjoyable for all ages.
It's a solid 75%. That is a 3 out of 4 deckers.
Yeah.
Approved.
But like my dad had like a smirk on his face, and that's enough. That's enough to be like, it's approved. For me.
Oh man.
He didn't immediately be like, get this off of my television.
Oh man.
So yeah, good for all ages.
God.
How have you been, Zach? I'll get to movies and stuff that I've seen, later in the episode. But what's going on? What's going on?
Not much. I'm still solidly so I have not gone back to Temtem for a little while. Okay. And I got Kentucky Route Zero finally is a game that finally completed, that started in 2013 that finally ended. And I bought the Switch complete edition of that, and I stopped on that because we had a moment a couple weeks ago. We didn't talk about this last week, but I do need to talk about something. Zach has a Pokemon confession to make to the world, which is that Zach doesn't know how Pokemon games work, apparently.
Oh, are you gonna? I'm
yes,
so excited
because
that this is going to be recorded.
This has consumed me for over 2 weeks now since this revelation.
I'm so happy that this will be
So-
recorded and on the internet.
So they did like a whole announcement about Pokemon Home, which is the whole like Pokemon storage system that's coming to Switch, so you can get your stuff off of 3DS and old games and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can port them into different games and all of that. And this all feeds into a bunch of other stuff about Pokemon Sword and Shield not having the complete Pokedex of 807 Pokemon, I think it is at this point. And then you add in the other, 30 or so different forms and different things if you want to have like a quote-unquote complete set of Pokemon.
I mean, there's over 1,000 Pokemon. There's got to be more than 800.
No, I looked it up. The complete total list is 807.
Really? With forms?
Yes.
With
I mean, what? No, I don't know about with other
Okay,
forms,
all
like
right.
things like Galarian forms and Alolan forms and stuff like that. But that's why I say it's like another 30 or so because they're not that. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But so when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, I was like, oh, 8 boxes, 30 spaces in each box. That's 240, right? 8 times 30. That's 240 spaces.
Sure.
So I think I'm doing my math right. 8 times 3 is 24, so 8 times 30 is 240. Yes, don't you...
This is the math hour.
Anyway, I'm okay at math, I swear. So, like, that was the thing that I hadn't even thought. I never would have thought to actually count those things except for all of the National Dex shit. Because I'm not the type of person that collects every Pokemon. Except for in Let's Go when they made it significantly easier to do that.
Yeah,
so I was like, why not?
Nope, that's the only
And it
Pokedex
was-
I've
and it
ever
was in-
completed.
And it was an infinite box, so I was like, sure. And so, like, the only other time I ever really thought about that was that in Pokemon Red and Blue, there are 12 boxes with 12 spaces in them. That's 144 boxes. That's 144 spaces for 150 Pokemon.
Yep.
And clearly they were thinking of things like, well, one, you're not going to catch a Squirtle, a Wartortle, and a Blastoise. You're going to have a Blastoise.
Yeah.
And also, you're probably never going to go out of your way to get a Blastoise, a Venusaur, and a Charizard all at once. Because that's like a complex situation of getting the right friends together and like connecting to them to trade and all that. So they just assumed that you were not going to catch 150 Pokemon. You're going to catch whatever 97 or whatever it is left over after they've all evolved and shit like that. Which I contest is why I play Pokemon the way I do. Which is that I generally play Pokemon to get the final evolutions and like single form Pokemon, and that's it.
Yeah.
But damn it, Let's Go ruined me because I decided I wanted to catch all of the forms.
Yep.
And so when Sword and Shield came out, it was like 240. That's like half of the spaces I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's never gonna work. How? There must be clearly they're going to expand these boxes later. Whatever. Just gonna play the game. So then Pokemon Home gets announced, and they're like, okay, so here's your storage options and all of this, and there's all this hoopla about the pricing of that, which I don't care to get into. But essentially,
Right.
if you're gonna do the free version, you can hold 30 Pokemon. If you're gonna pay for it, you can hold 6,000 of them.
Yep.
And so in all of the like looking through the Twitter space and through all of this stuff as people are talking about it, I've come across a tweet that makes my brain split open for a second, because they said almost verbatim, well, I mean, you can hold 960 Pokemon in Sword and Shield, so really it's not that big of a deal. And I stopped. And I was like, hold on. You can hold 240 Pokemon in Sword and Shield. What are you talking about, insane person? Clearly, no, that's a number you just pulled. No, what are you talking about? And like my first immediate thought was that the second that they introduced in Sword and Shield the like portable PC thing, I never once went to a PC in a Pokemon Center except to do like the lottery every now and then, or to do the Pokemon jobs a couple of times. But I never once touched the Pokemon storage system within a PC within a Pokemon Center. So my first thought was, oh dear God, I've missed something. Oh dear God, I could have been going to a Pokemon Center and have so much more expanded space if I just went to a Pokemon Center like a normal person, he said about a fictional world in which 10-year-olds dogfight monsters. So I text Dayle. And so I respond to this person and I say, that's weird. I've only seen the 8 boxes with 30 spaces. That doesn't seem right. And then immediately...
You respond
Oh yeah, no, that was the first thing I did.
Oh wait,
Then
no, I
I
remember
text
this.
Dayle. Then I text Dayle and I say, just out of curiosity, am I missing something? How much space do you have to store Pokemon in Sword and Shield? And Dayle works like a human being,
Yep.
and I work at a job where I can just stare at my phone all day. So it takes her some time to respond to me. And in that time, I get another reply on Twitter where someone's like, well, if you just have a Pokemon in all 8 boxes, it'll expand, and you can do that until there's 32 boxes, and then you have 960 spaces. And I went, what? I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yep. So this is another iteration.
and then Dayle texts me. He's like, "Is this a joke? What are you texting me right now?"
Oh, Zack.
Pokemon is one of the most formative franchises of my video gaming life, and also I know fuck all about it.
The thing is that I constantly need to remind myself that, like, you play Pokemon, but, like...
I played, like, old Pokemon, and then I played Sun and Moon. Like, that's what I like, that's my...
That's your Pokemon repertoire, right?
For years, I loved Pokemon as a concept in the world, but I didn't own, like...
I feel like
I owned Emerald on my Game Boy Advance, but I never owned a DS until Sun and Moon came out, which I specifically bought a 3DS to play. So I missed a few generations in there.
Yeah. Did Sun and Moon came out while we were recording, right?
That came out right before. That came out at the end of 2016.
Okay. So
that came out before we started.
I was gonna say, I feel like this podcast is like reawoken Pokemon for you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like this, like, I mean, it's also just that, like, I mean, it was that I was in a place where I could afford to buy a 3DS and like, oh yeah, just get back in Pokemon. I haven't played that in a while, and just kind of like dip back into a thing that I absolutely loved but never engaged with for various reasons.
Yeah, so it's just so funny because, like, I don't know the older games that much. I don't know what storage is like that. But, like, I've known about adding storage boxes since X and Y.
Because you were like, oh, yeah, that was just the thing they introduced in that. Yeah. And so that's just been in every game since. And I was like, really? Because I didn't notice it in Sun and Moon because it never occurred to me to check the number of boxes I had in Sun and Moon. I just did it.
The funny thing is that, okay, so... when I was playing X and Y, it never, like, occurred to me either. Like, I never thought about boxes. And I was like, oh, okay, so, yeah, it's stored in the box, whatever. And I think I do remember playing and seeing, like, boxes starting to fill up. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder if I'm going to run out of room. And then I played around some more, caught some more Pokemon, and then I went back and I magically had boxes. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. This game is cool and nice to you. And, like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look because, like, the more I even think about it, I feel like in Sun and Moon, because in Sun and Moon you have the Rotom Dex, so your Pokedex talks to you throughout the game, and so there's probably a point at which they were just like, yeah, don't worry about space, you'll always have space, just do whatever, and it'll expand as you need it, and it probably read that sentence and moved on and completely wiped it from my memory.
Well, that's the thing, is that there's, like I said, because we were talking about this, I'm sure, like, some NPC mentions it, like, in a Poke Center or something, and is like, oh, did you know that you can keep catching Pokemon even if you fill up your boxes? Like, I'm sure there's somewhere.
Especially, like, four generations down the line, it's like a throwaway line from an NPC, or it's in a book somewhere that's just like, did you know the PC expands? And that's it. Yeah. So, like...
But you said that, and I
just was like,
laughed so hard. I'm so sorry.
So immediately I learned that, and I'm like, it's fucking on. Fuck this whole idea of needing to move Pokemon from anything. Fuck paying for Pokemon Bank on 3DS and transfer things. Fuck it. I'm going to just catch Pokemon and store it in Shield, and then when they add more Pokemon, I'll catch those, and at some point, they'll add more Pokemon into something else, and I can just move shit later.
Yeah.
So I spent the 2 weeks since then going through and catching the individual levels of Pokemon. And I got lucky because there's things like if I have extra and I Wonder Trade, I have a Grookey, a Thwackey, and a Rillaboom now.
Yeah.
I just do.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I got the Charmander you get from Leon, and then someone else, people are just like spamming Charmanders into the fucking Wonder Trade. So I got that. So I've got 2 of those. I'm doing relatively well, actually.
Yeah. No, it's great. Also, Wonder Trade is great because you could literally just keep hitting it.
I got a Ponyta.
It's great.
I got Galarian Ponyta.
Oh, nice. Nice. I still
then
haven't. Did I catch one? I did catch one in my Shield playthrough. I didn't use it, even though
I've never seen one. I have yet to see one in the wild.
Oh yeah.
I've yet to see a Ponyta in the wild in Shield. I just assumed it was a Sword exclusive at this point.
No.
So I just never see them because like the thing is the fairy forest there is the one area where the wild Pokemon are like all wild encounters. With the exception of Impidimp hanging around the mushrooms, they're not popping up like visibly in that forest the way they are the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And so I just like did not realize that Ponyta was available in the area.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I just knew it was because of the 24-hour stream that introduced it. Ridiculous.
So like I've been doing that. I've like used breeding for the first time in like any generation where like I finally got like broke down. I was like, I'm not seeing any more Hoot Hoot. Where's the Hoot Hoot? I caught a Hoot Hoot once and it's a Noctowl now. Where the fuck are the Hoot? Fuck it. I just caught another Noctowl and I bred them. And I was like, there it is. There's my owl baby.
No Ditto? No Ditto? You got no Ditto?
I have not found a Ditto yet.
Oh
I have not found a Ditto yet, and I have not Wonder Traded a Ditto by accident. And so, like,
I have a Ditto. I could send it.
I'm sure you do, but like, I have not seen one once in this game, which means I can't.
You have to go to where like Dreepy is. I don't know if you know where that is, or
where the Dreepy evolution is, or where the Dreepy are actually. Well, see the thing.
Evolution, second evolution.
That's the other thing. The weather in the fucking wild area has not been my friend lately. So like stuff that I knew where I could go get stuff before, it keeps being a fucking blizzard or raining, and so it's all electric Pokemon and ice Pokemon, and I fucking don't need you. I need earlier evolutions, and they're all level 60 right now. And none of the earlier evolutions are around because I finished the game, and that's what it does. Once you finish the game, the entire wild area is populated by level 60 Pokemon.
I have a question. Have you encountered any evolutions, like straight-on evolutions?
I did see a Vaporeon walking around in the wild, but I had already caught it by then. I managed to catch 2 Eevees at some point and had already used them to breed the 7 others I needed or whatever. So I have all 8 Eevees. I have Eevee and all 7 evolutions.
Nice. All right. Fair. Wait.
Like the first thing I did.
Wait, you have Sylveon
I have
and all that? You have all
I have Vaporeon, Flareon, Leafeon, Jolteon, Umbreon, Sylveon, Espeon. I have them all.
You didn't say one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was 7. Wait. And I have Eevee. Wait, which one did I miss?
Nope.
Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon, Umbreon, Espeon, Sylveon.
Yeah, you missed one. Again.
Which one am I missing?
Glaceon.
Oh, Glaceon.
Yeah.
Oh, there are 8. Why did I think there was only 7? Okay.
There's 9 in total, including Eevee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I need to check something. Oh, shit.
Yes!
So I'm pretty certain I only have 8. So...
Oh, that's great. Well,
wait, no. I must have them all because I have them all. Because the other thing I did, because I'm a... Okay, here's the other thing I did because I'm me, is that I took the hours to sit there and organize them in number order, leaving spaces for the ones I'm missing. So I have, but now that I know that I have the boxes, because you only need it to expand once. You only need 14 boxes. It's 13 full boxes and then like 2 lines in the 14th box to fill out the 400 Pokemon that are in this game. So they're right now, currently. So so I only had to expand it once, and I now have them all categorized in the right order, so I know which ones I'm missing, and I know which ones I still have to evolve. Like I've got 2 Sneasels because I don't have a fucking Razor Claw for some reason. In all of this entire game, of all of the random shit I've picked up in this game, a Razor Claw is the one thing I haven't picked up, so I can't evolve Sneasel.
Go to the Digging Bros.
I have, but that's
Oh.
for some reason they haven't given me a razor
Oh
claw
my
yet.
god, that's hilarious.
But yeah, so I have to check that because my numbers, as far as I know, are correct, which means I must have all
So
of them.
I have
I
a
must have all of
question.
them.
I have a question. Does Sylveon still evolve with like high friendship and baby doll eyes?
Any fairy type move. Anytime if the friendship is high enough and they have any fairy type move, it will evolve into a Sylveon now.
Okay.
Yes, any fairy type move, which means that because I had two Eevees that I was trying to evolve, so I Espeon to evolve during the day and never learn a fairy type move.
Mhm.
So like right now, also like Baby Doll Eyes, I think is the only fairy type move that Eevee will learn.
Yeah.
I
Well, that's
think you could teach them with another like TMs and stuff,
yeah.
but I think the only fairy type move that Eevee will learn on their own
Is baby doll eyes. Yeah.
is Baby Doll Eyes.
Yep. Yeah, because and that's the one that's needed for Sylveon. But have you tried it with any type
Well, it
fairy
was
move,
they
or
they
did
had
you
they
see
had
it?
they had Baby Doll Eyes and another, and I had taught them Dazzling Gleam or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
I looked it up as I was trying to make sure I had all my like things right. It
Yeah.
that the Bulbapedia told me that it was just any fairy type move, so I
Weird.
didn't really think
That's
about it at that time.
interesting. That's
Yeah,
interesting because basically you just need to teach it something if it does that. It makes it easier, and I don't.
it makes
Cause
that
you
easier, but you have to remember the only like the your only two options for raising friendship in Sword and Shield are through like cooking
and
and
camp.
berries
Yeah.
and camp, right,
Yep.
and playing with them in camp. So
Yeah.
they're probably making up for the fact that like the
Yeah.
friendship thing is more limited in
Yeah.
this version because
Exactly.
there's not you don't have Pokemon of me or the
Yeah.
like I'm gonna sit here and groom you stuff.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I love them. It's great. It's some of my favorite
So yeah,
parts.
so I'm just full on just in my I'm full on me with Pokemon right now, just like trying to fill up that those spaces.
Yeah, for me, I am just like I finished my shield run through, and now I'm basically just gonna try and get the legendary in shield, and then probably go back to sword and shiny hunt, and try to get Pokemon until the expansion comes out.
Yeah,
But
it's so funny because what this sounds like, it sounds like I'm going crazy, and also there are people that spend hours and hours and days
to shiny
shiny
hunt.
hunting
Oh
a
yeah.
single Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
So like,
No, it's yeah, yeah. It's basically like similar things. You're
but like,
still spending hours, and at least you're getting different Pokemon.
and I think stuff in the wild area, they make it really easy to do things like Ralts has a specific evolution if they're male, but
Yeah.
male Raltses are super rare. But you can just go to one spot in the wild area where the male Ralts evolution is just chilling all the time.
Oh yeah, I already caught it.
So I caught it. It's like
Delayed.
that's done.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yep. I haven't
But then
seen
I'm
a
like,
Ralts. I've seen Gallade
um,
and I've seen why can't I think of her name? Gardevoir. I've seen
they
both of them.
they
But
pop up in different areas in the wild area as like kind of the way that like Abra did, where they like
oh, I got you.
teleport in, run away, teleport away again,
yeah,
run away, teleport away. Yeah,
That's what they do. They're
yeah.
very similar to Abras in that they have teleport and they mess around with that.
And so like I'm taking the opportunity because this is a lot easier. I'm also taking the opportunity to do things like I've got 3 different Alcremies right now because I've evolved 3 different Milceries 3 different ways and things like that. I also have to look at things like there's spots in the Pokedex for like Persian, who only evolves from Kanto Meowth because Galar Meowth doesn't evolve into Persian.
Yeah.
So like there's still a spot in the Pokedex for Persian for that. Yamask, oh my god, fucking Yamask. My god. Day. My god, the equation they created for Galar Yamask in this game. So first off, again, Galar Yamask evolves into a different version of the second evolution, so it's technically a different Pokedex entry. So you can still get the whatever continent Yamask is originally from, whatever generation.
I think it's
Uneven.
I
Yeah,
think it's Unova.
yeah. So
You're
you
also
can
saying it's Galar.
it's Galar.
It's Galar.
I mean, I saw Galarian or Galar region.
Well,
That's what it sounded like whenever they did the directs. I took it as Galar.
I've heard Galar.
Whatever.
Whatever. Tomato, right?
So like original version of Yamask, you can still evolve into its original secondary one, which has its own Pokedex entry. Or
Carcophagus or whatever.
right,
Love it.
and then there's the Rune one.
Yep.
And the way that you get it is that Yamask has to, in a fight, lose at least 49 HP, but not faint.
Okay.
But not faint.
Yep.
Can't be healed after that. Can't faint after that. You then have to take it to a specific place in the wild area, the Dusty Bowl area of the wild area, and walk under the stone bridge that they have. So as long as it has lost at least 49 HP, has not fainted, it is in your party when you walk under the stone bridge in Dusty Bowl, it will just evolve.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Well, that's like, okay.
So you have to sit there and be like, okay, so it's strong enough to deal with this fight. It can do that over multiple fights. It just has to be. I also learned it can't be the one you catch. So if you go to catch a Yamask and knock it down to like 3 HP and catch it, you have to heal it, take it into a fight, and let it lose the HP again.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That is less okay. So because the way I thought Yamask would evolve, Galarian Yamask would evolve would be you'd have to get a few of them together, and they like in a fight after you like fight with them, they would merge, and then you get one Pokemon. That's how I thought it was gonna be, because that would be really cool, and it's part of its lore is that
it's made up of the different
of different pieces of that like tablet, that stone tablet. But like so this is more like, you know how Sirfetch'd evolves, right?
Oh, I have no idea anything about Sirfetch'd. Okay. That's a sword thing.
So Sirfetch'd, you have to, in a fight with a Farfetch'd, you have to land 3 critical hits. And I think there's one other thing that you have to do. But you have to land, like, in battle, need to hit 3 critical hits, and then I think give it, like, a leak or something. Or maybe do one other thing. I don't remember that other thing.
Does that have to be holding, like, the pungent root or whatever that looks like the leak or something?
Or it could very well just be, like, the 3 critical hits, and then you get your Sirfetch'd. But that's how you get it. So like that's cool. It's cool that it's a battle tied thing, because it's kind of like Ninja.
Yes, Ninjask. I did get. So like that one I also evolved. Like I knew how that one worked already.
So that's like, so it's like really cool. But like Yamask, this is cool. This makes me happy, because at least it's incorporating the wild area stuff. Right? Like, that makes me super happy, and I hope other Pokemon are doing that. We just don't know about it yet.
Yeah. It's just, like, so wild to me that would be the way they do it, because who figures that out? Yeah. Who figures that out and puts it on the internet so other people know how that works?
Yeah. Someone, like, accidentally must have just been like, oh, I gotta go down. I gotta, had a Yamask in there.
Got enough data. Enough of us have tried this thing, and this seems to be the thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. There's a part of me that, I mean, this is super cool, but like, it also would have been super cool if you needed to like actually form the thing.
Right.
But this is like, now I want to do that and get my little stone guy. I don't even know what it's called.
Runa something. Instead of Sarcopha whatever, it's Runa whatever.
Nice. I freaking love Yamask.
So yeah, didn't mean for that to be half the episode, but I did have to confess that.
No, that's fine.
Oh man.
Now I really want to get Yamask.
How have you been?
I've been good. Lot of Buddy Thunderstruck. Lot of Buddy Thunderstruck.
That's fine.
I have just been like totally taking that in and like internalizing it. So like, the Buddy Thunderstruck theme song is stuck in my head 24/7 now, and I can't get rid of it. And it sucks because there's a middle part to the song that I have no idea what the words are. And I even tried to watch it with the subtitles on. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Those are the lyrics. And now they're gone. Don't have them anymore. But like, so every once in a while, I'll just get like the riff in my head, and I'm like, oh no. And then I start walking around the house or walking around work being like, Buddy Thunderstruck! Yeah! And I'm like, this show is taking over my life. But not not gonna talk about how amazing Buddy Thunderstruck is, because opening of the episode was just that. But here is what I've been doing. I saw The Gentleman and Rhythm Section last week.
Oh yeah?
And one was way better than the other.
I mean, I've seen reviews of not reviews. I've seen at least people talk about Rhythm Section being not that good. So I'm assuming that was
it's
the
unfortunate.
one.
So Gentleman was incredible. It was just so good. I don't want to give anything away.
I mean, it gave me the impression of old-fashioned Guy Ritchie, which I'm perfectly fine with. So
yeah. So I'm excited for you to eventually see it, so we can just talk about the amazingness that is.
Which I will. Unfortunately, I only pay to go see horror movies apparently now. So.
Excuse me. So I also am. So Rhythm Section was a good movie. Like, it was very fun, but like, unfortunately, there were moments where I kept comparing it to Atomic Blonde or Anna.
That makes sense.
And the unfortunate thing is that they're different movies. They
Anna
really
or
are.
Hannah?
It's Anna. Anna. Not Hannah. Hannah's that TV show.
And also was a movie with Eric Bana. That's why in Saoirse Ronan. That's why I was but that's why I was wondering.
So so not Hannah, Anna. Or Anna. Probably more Anna. I think it's Anna. And if anybody has seen Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, have you seen that movie, Zack?
Yeah. All 5 of you.
Hey, fuck you! How dare you? That movie's incredible. Well, if you've seen a trailer for it, or if you've seen the movie, the alien girl, like, she, kind of like, they're the Avatar looking people.
Okay, yeah. No,
you know what I'm talking about?
They look like the opera singer from Fifth Element.
What? I've never seen Fifth Element.
Okay, how do you see Valerian but not Fifth Element? You realize, okay.
Because I am a special specimen of human.
Anyways,
so there are these characters in Valerian, and if you've seen Valerian, you know what I'm talking about. But the main girl, the princess of those people, is who Anna is in that movie. She was basically a model.
Which was sorry, that's why Anna is the other Luc Besson. We're talking about nothing but Luc Besson now.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So it's the other Luc Besson movie, and she's in it, and she was also in Valerian. But yeah, so anyways. So the thing about these 3 movies is that Anna and
the King, Anna and the King.
No.
Don't say it. No, it's fine.
No.
Sorry, I had to say it.
and Atomic Blonde are very much like spy stuff, like, spy thrillers and whatnot. But they also are about, they have revenge in them. They have revenge plots in a lot of ways, which is cool. Rhythm Section is totally just revenge plot, and which is good, and it works and is really, really nice. But she's not a spy. She is just a normal person who got dealt really shitty cards, lost her family, and is now, is finding out a way how to find the people who are responsible for her family's death.
Which has been done before. I mean, this is not me insulting the movie. I mean, that is a tried and true version of the revenge story. That's not completely out of left field. Yeah. So that's not the thing that makes the movie strange or anything. No. Okay.
No, not at all. But I'm just saying, that's why they get, at least why I was comparing them.
Right.
Is because it very much is it feels like the same, all right, something happened to you. You're basically taking justice right now, right?
Right.
And so that's why they get compared, but they are very different movies. I want that to be clear. At least in my opinion, they are very different movies because you do have trained individuals versus an individual who does not have training, and the entire movie is trying to get trained but still is fucking up. And still, she's still messing up because she's still, she's not a trained killer. So she hesitates, and because she's like, I don't I've never killed anybody. So it's
Which
interesting.
which actually, yeah, I was gonna say that sounds really interesting as a
It's
concept
very,
for a
very
revenge
interesting.
movie.
Yeah, it's very because she is. There's a lot of moments where she's hesitant, and like, not to give too much away, but most of the deaths are accidental or not by her hand. And I'm not gonna. I'm
Oh,
gonna try.
it's the episode of American Dad where you find out he's never killed anybody because
Yeah,
they keep accidentally dying.
yeah.
Like,
Which but that's also really, really nice because it's like, cool. I'm kind of happy you haven't, like, you're definitely an accomplice and like an accessory to murder, but like, I'm happy that you're not. It's
in a
weird.
way, it keeps you from being morally compromised in that
Yeah,
act
yeah,
like this whole thing isn't going. You're feeling the regret of the thing that's happening
yeah,
along with the audience. So the audience doesn't have to go, I don't have to like
yeah,
distance myself from the
yeah,
fact that this person is killing other human
yeah.
beings
I
because
mean,
they also feel
there,
that.
yeah, and it's
That's
it she well yeah, so it is a good movie. It's just like it's kind of melodic and slow and and there's just moments in it that were really hard to just like, oh god, that's hard to watch. I'm gonna watch because it's really beautiful cinema. It's really a beautiful piece of cinema, but like, I feel sick right now and I'm sorry and I'm sad, which, like, you're supposed to feel that way, so good on you, movie. But yeah, it did a lot of cool stuff with music, which obviously it's called rhythm section,
Yeah, like
so
it's
it
unfortunate because
needs
I only
to.
ever saw it's
um
unfortunate and also cool in that I only ever saw a poster for this. So
yeah,
every time I saw that poster in my head, I was like, why the fuck would it be called the rhythm section? What
yeah.
does it do? I hope it means that there's like
Oh,
a musical aspect to this
yeah,
movie.
no, it does. It totally does. The soundtrack's incredible. The score is awesome and incredible too. And it's just like, so it does really, really, really cool work with music. It's just like, I'm sad that I feel like it's a movie I need to watch again. And even right now, talking about it again is making me realize, oh no, it was a good movie. It's just, while I was watching it, I was comparing it to Atomic Blonde and Anna, which are far.
Well, they're different. They're much
They're
more
different.
stylistic. They're much more
Yeah,
stylized,
exactly.
pulpy
Yeah.
movies
So
compared to yeah.
so I'm glad that I got to talk about it because now I'm like, no, now I want to watch it again and be like, no, this is good. This is really good. Like, I'm thinking of scenes. I'm like, no, that was excellent.
And really, like
Um,
Blake Lively's a surprising
I love Blake
actor, I
Lively.
think. Every
I
time I
love.
see a movie with Blake Lively in it, I go, man, this is really good. And
I
I don't know why I'm
absolutely love her.
surprised because every time I see a Blake Lively movie, it's a good movie.
Have you ever seen Age of Adeline?
No, but I
Oh,
wanted to.
oh
But
my
like,
God,
but like, when I think of like The Town,
amazing.
and she's amazing in that. And
Oh
I think
yeah,
of The
okay,
Shallows, and she's amazing in
fantastic. No,
that. And
she's
I just think it's like every time I see Blake Lively, I'm like, oh yeah, she's fucking phenomenal,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. No, she's incredible. And like, that's another. I actually was having this conversation earlier with a coworker. Is that like Atomic Blonde? Like, I can't see anybody but Charlize Theron in that role. I can't see anybody other than Blake Lively in this role. And so like, good, good. That's good to me. And like, she totally took it and was
It's
excellent. She
and I
did an
think what it
excellent
is that
job. It's
she
just,
she always puts in the work. I don't think
yeah,
there's ever a time where I've watched Blake Lively and gone, "You're not trying right
yeah,
now."
yeah,
In the way that I've seen like Nicolas Cage is 50-50.
yeah,
I think Blake Lively always comes to do her job.
yeah. Yeah,
So
she just did. She was so incredible, and it's a different. At least for me, it's a completely different role to see her in. Cause like the movies I've seen are Age of Adeline, which is a beautiful, beautiful movie, but she's just like, it's kind of like a love story type thing. So
have you watched Simple Favor?
no, I
I
really,
want to.
really
I
want
really, really
to.
want to because like
Really,
that's
really want
that's
to.
that is I think a big also a big like turning point
turning
for
for her.
like again, the town I think was the same way for me to like
Yeah.
be like, oh, she's a really good dramatic actress. And I think Simple Favor was like a moment where it's like, oh, she can do
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
just like, she can do more than just be like big over dramatic crying scene.
Yeah.
She has a lot more depth to her as an actor than she lets on,
But
I
yeah,
think.
and this character, like, really, I think I'm trying to think of other Blake Lively movies that I've seen, but I think it's really just Age of Adeline and
Green Lantern. She's in Green
and
Lantern, and quite frankly, her and Ryan Reynolds together. I swear. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just being a dick now.
I've never seen Green Lantern.
It's a joke because
The
that's
only
where they met, and now they're married
Oh
and
really?
have kids.
I didn't know they met on that.
As far
The
as I
only
know, I
other
mean, they're in it together. I assume
Yeah,
that's.
I don't know. The only other Blake Lively movie I've seen is The Shallows. So like two very different characters there between Age of Adeline and Shallows. But then you have this other character that's like based on these two movies, like you can play a badass character, but I didn't know you could play like a super like broken down badass character too.
I never did
And
watch
that's
Gossip Girl, so I
amazing.
have no comment on her range of dramatic acting.
Yeah. No, she did incredible. And the movie, I think the unfortunate thing about the movie was that we watched Gentlemen first.
It's The Grudge after Underwater.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is like one of those things where it's just like, yeah.
Okay, comparing these two movies, which one did I have? Which one was the standout of the night? It was The Gentleman. And like again, talking about Rhythm Section makes me want to go watch it again just on its own, and I feel like I will love it and try not to think about Atomic Blonde or Anna, and try to like just have it be its own thing, because like I said, talking about it has made me appreciate it 1,000 times more than I did on Thursday night.
And I think a big part of that also is that just like there aren't a ton of female-led revenge and spy movies out there, and so they inherently end up getting compared to each other, which is like just the unfortunate existence of reality.
Happy about that.
Right,
that I was
right. And so it's just like,
comparing
okay, so
head.
give it some distance, watch it, because it's like you want to take these things on their own, but also there's only so many things. Like The Gentleman, like even within Guy Ritchie films, like I will watch The Gentleman and I will compare it to Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I just will, like, but that may not detract from those things the way that like watching the Rhythm Section being like, is this as good as this other like highly popular, highly stylized thing was? It's like it's not fair to it, but it's what my brain's doing.
But yeah. So I'm glad I talked about it, because now I like it more. Which I feel like happens a lot. But hey, at least I got to remedy on it and think about it. So yeah, go see Rhythm Section. Go see Gentlemen.
Cool.
That's gonna be my suggestion.
I went to the movies. I went to the movies recently. I never do that, except I have this year. If anyone's noticed, I've only gone to horror movies this year. That will change with Birds of Prey and Sonic coming out this month.
Yep.
But I for whatever reason decided this year, like as a thing to force myself to get out more, as like sometimes have more time, is that I'm going to at least go see all of the horror movies that come out this year, just because I don't know, it seems like an attainable goal. So I went and saw Gretel and Hansel this week, which stars. Here's the thing about Gretel and Hansel. I saw one trailer for it.
Okay.
All of the times I went to go see horror movies this year, I have seen one trailer for Gretel and Hansel. I have seen the Invisible Man trailer at every movie that I've fucking gone out to this year. And that is a trailer that needs to cut off halfway through.
Yep.
It looks like a great movie. It looks like Elizabeth Moss looks great. Guess what? I don't need the second half of that fucking trailer.
No.
The second that she says someone is sitting in that chair right now, that's where the fucking title card should come up and tell you that the date, and then that should be the end of the trailer, because everything else after that is superfluous. Ugh. Anyway. It just is. It's just showing you too much more of the movie.
I agree.
That is the perfect cutoff. Everything up in that trailer that they show you from that movie is a perfect setup to what that movie's going to be. And then it's just like, it should end right there.
Yeah, welcome to my frustration of trailers, Zach. There's a moment in, like, and I don't even go out and see horror movies, but like there's a woman in the window. I'm like, that trailer could have been cut off at a point.
Yes. I don't need to see. I get it. It's Rear Window with Amy Adams. I don't need to see more of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen that one once too.
I've seen a. Okay, the last few movies we've seen have been like nothing but horror movies trailers, and then Sonic thrown in and Birds of Prey thrown in.
Because like early on in the year, that's all that's coming out right now.
Crazy.
So I go to see Gretel and Hansel. I went to North Attleboro again this time because I wanted to give it another chance. The chairs are still very comfortable, and the whole rest of the lobby setup is terrible. But Gretel and Hansel itself is very interesting in that it is a movie that is really not trying to surprise you in a lot of ways. It's just the story of Hansel and Gretel. It's a very stylized version of it, but it's not trying to twist you on a lot of things. It does like one or two things to try and subvert it, which I will not go like super far into, but like for the most part, I think after I saw it, I went on Discord and I was like, the people that made this movie clearly have an English degree and took a children's lit course. Mm-hmm. Because like when you take a children's lit course and you learn about the Grimm fairy tales, you learn basically, here's what all of these stories were about. Here's the morality story they were all telling. And this movie was like, yep, that's the morality tale we're telling. We're going to do that. We're going to twist some things. And then we're just going to do a really cool looking version of that. It's like, cool. I'm actually fine with that for 87 minutes. I don't need anything else out of this movie.
Yeah.
And it was extremely interesting. It is very slow and quiet compared to, like, I don't know, like a slasher film or something. Like, I'm going to see Fantasy Island in a couple of weeks. Yeah. I'm sure that movie will be bonkers. But, like, this movie was just like, this movie definitely falls in the side of, like, very slow atmospheric horror. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's everybody talks like they're in a lit textbook. Like seriously, yeah. Every sentence feels like it's old, like not actual old-timey English, but what we think of when we make fun of old-timey English. Yeah. Everybody talks like that, and every sentence is a metaphor for something instead of just being straightforward talk about anything. But it has the girl, I looked her name up, I think it's Sophia Lillis. God, I hope that's right. Who was in It, who plays young Jessica Chastain in the It movies, and is fantastic. And she was in that Nancy Drew movie that came out last year and got completely fucking buried. Just completely forgotten by people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it just sucks because she's a fantastic actor, and it feels like all of the movies she's in are not getting like huge marketing pushes outside of It. Because like Gretel and Hansel, I saw one preview. I saw 4 horror movies before I saw this movie, and none of them one of them had a Gretel and Hansel trailer. I saw something today. What did I see? It was The Boy 2.
Yeah.
I saw that movie comes out in like a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw a trailer for that was when I saw Gretel and Hansel 3 days ago.
We saw it before, I want to say before Rhythm Section.
And it's like, okay, like, it's not a movie I'm going to go see because I'm going to go see all the horror movies this year that aren't sequels to things I haven't seen yet. Yeah. Like, I'm probably not going to go see The Quiet Place 2 because I haven't sat down and watched The Quiet Place yet. Well, maybe I will. If I sit down and watch The Quiet Place, maybe I will.
But also, Quiet Place 2, it's like, well, okay, I guess John Krasinski's not there. Wonder what happened to him.
Well, here's the thing. You say that, and then I saw a thing that was like, here's a new Quiet Place 2 trailer, and John Krasinski's there all of a sudden.
Aww.
So now,
Spoilers.
So, because I saw that, because I noticed that too, and my father and I were like, I guess that means he doesn't make it through the first movie.
Well, there is also a moment in the original trailer that came out where it was like the little kid is in the back seat, and he's like, that's Dad, there's Dad. And I'm like, all right, what is happening?
Did he say that? Because I thought he said, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
There's Dad. Mom, look, there's Dad.
So
and then she gets distracted, and then there's the bus.
They get separated, and now the movie's them getting back. Yeah, whatever. But so I'm like, um, I completely forgot my train of thought in all of this. Um, but yeah, so Gretel and Hansel actually fairly decent movie. Better than The Turning. It's gonna be so long time before something this year is worse than The Turning. So mad at that movie still. So, but this
Oh
was just
man.
interesting in that like it's doing so many weird things with like I couldn't figure out what aspect ratio this movie was in at first because like the theater had it so it was shorter than the screen in the theater to begin with. As we were watching the trailers, there was black on the two sides because the aspect ratio was smaller. And then the movie opened, and all of a sudden there were black bars at the bottom, and I was looking at a smaller square inside this much larger screen.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the hell? Why is this movie not just taking up the screen?" And then a scene happened, and and then it went back to filling out whatever space the trailers was filling out. It's like, okay, so it's just in not full 16 by 9 or whatever. And then a scene happened, and it looked like it was in like the 4 by 9 square, like full screen square for a little bit. And then it wasn't anymore. And I was like, what the hell is going on? My eyes and my brain can't handle this. I got bad eyes, movie. You can't do this to me.
Hey.
So like they definitely
Stylistic choices.
right. So they definitely took the idea of like we're gonna just tell you this story fairly straightforward, but we're going to do some like stylistic
Yeah.
stuff around it,
Yeah.
which fine, whatever, sure. But the acting is pretty solid. It's very like there's like three characters through most of the movie, and they're all pretty good. But I mean, if you got space to fill, go see it. It's not a movie that's gonna make you mad the way The Turning is. So there you go.
Oh man. Oh
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, and like I'm trying to remember what other. Oh, that's what we were doing. We were talking about trailers before, where like the boy trailer just like popped up out of there. The other one that was weird is that it felt like Showcase realized that there might be some older people at this movie. Because I will say this, I think I was the youngest person in this theater for Gretel and Hansel for some reason.
Yeah.
So like it's like horror trailer, horror trailer, horror trailer, horror trailer, and then we saw a trailer for The Way Back with Ben Affleck,
Oh.
which like if anybody's seen Hardball with Keanu Reeves, The Way Back is basically Hardball, but with Ben Affleck and basketball instead of Keanu Reeves and baseball. Which was just like the second I saw that, it was like, okay, it feels like someone was like, okay, everybody here is like over 50. Okay, they're going to love this trailer.
Yeah.
They're going to show them the Ben Affleck comeback story where he does the dramatic turn with the kids and the alcoholism and the depression.
Yeah, I saw that trailer. I'm like, this is weird.
It's just weird because knowing what Ben Affleck has been going through for a couple of years, it just feels like he's like this is him really trying to turn things around. And I'm like, this is not the movie, man. This movie's not going to win you an Oscar. This is not going to be your comeback. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
But yes,
Crazy.
I do recommend like Gretel and Hansel if you just like or like I want to see like a quieter, like interesting kind of dark fantasy movie.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting this type of stuff it does with like if anybody's ever taken the like child lit course when you're like, oh, all grim fairy tales or morality stories about how like once women hit puberty, it's all shit down from there.
Yeah.
And this movie was like, yeah, I mean, that's definitely the world they were living in, but what if blank? And then it does some stuff with that, which is like cool that someone was like, yeah, we're going to tell you the fairy tale story, but we're going to be a little bit more high-minded about it.
But is it better than Hansel and Gretel with Jeremy Renner?
I mean, here's the thing. They're two very different movies.
Yeah, I know.
Hansel and Gretel Witch
already tell.
Hunters. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters is basically like in line with like Army of Darkness.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
Is it better than Hansel and Gretel get stoned with the daughter from Castle? I don't know because I've never seen it.
Don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
That's great.
I know.
That's great. Oh,
yeah. but definitely like it's also just like really it's really interesting to watch that movie and be like, oh, the kid playing Hansel is definitely like an 8-year-old boy. Like this is not one of those times where there's like older actors playing younger or whatever,
Yeah.
which means that some of the stuff that they do in that movie, it's kind of like Danny and The Shining, where you're like, oh man, that must have been traumatizing for that kid.
Yeah. Oh
Because
God.
they use a real, oh man,
Yeah.
there's a fucking, oh, there's a fucking magic mushrooms bit. Like that's what I mean when this movie gets weird, where it's just like, where it's just like, yes, let's show this 8-year-old child high on
Oh
shrooms.
my God.
Definitely, we should do this.
All right. I think that's where we're gonna stop.
We never talked about. Oh no, really quick, we haven't talked about Crisis yet. But oh, we should do
No.
that
Okay, but
another
here's the
time.
thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Crisis. I have a lot to say about it. Well, do I? I don't know. Here,
How much can you have to say about it when you haven't watched most of the shows that connect to it?
because I have a lot to say. I specifically have a lot to say about how it is affecting my other two
Other
shows.
shows. Yes. Okay. So how about this? Have you watched Supergirl and Batwoman? I know you've watched at least one episode of at least Batwoman since that has ended. But are you caught up on the 2 episodes of each of those that have come out
Okay,
since the end of?
so
Okay.
the last Batwoman that we watched was when with the little hacker girl with the hacker girl with the
Okay.
the hacker
Okay.
high
So
schooler
definitely watch.
and they revealed that Batwoman is a lesbian
Okay.
or is
So
gay.
I have watched the episode after that as well. So you should watch that.
Okay.
Because it talks about it. It does some things like we have been trying to figure out some things about that episode.
Yeah, we discussed
It actually,
that.
it does like it. Yeah, no,
Well,
it
here's the
goes
thing.
into
Here's
those.
the thing.
So
Supergirl, I have watched 3 episodes since Crisis, I believe.
no, there's only been 2.
There's only been
There's
two.
the Brainy episode, and then when Win comes back. Those are only the only 2 episodes that have been on since.
Why does it feel like there's been 3?
I don't know because there's definitely only been those 2 episodes since Crisis.
Cool. Cool. So I
Because
watched
the other problem
those
is that
2.
with the Super Bowl Sunday night, like technically there should be 3 of both of those, but there aren't because
Yeah.
the Super Bowl was Sunday night, so they didn't bother putting on new episodes
Okay.
of them.
Yeah. So I've only seen one of Batwoman and then both of the Supergirls,
Okay.
and I have things to say.
So I mean and I mean the other thing, yeah. So okay. Then what I would say is that we're gonna punt that to next week because you should watch the other episode of Batwoman.
Yeah.
Because it does explain some things, and then we can talk about what it means.
That's the thing, is that I feel like Supergirl explained things
Well, because the thing with
Batwoman, at least for me. Let's not get into it.
yes, no, actually, no, you're right. You're right. The second episode did because the thing was when it was just the 2 episodes, my whole thing was that the Brainies only doubled because of the big brain they were attached to, but then the Win episode happened.
Yeah.
And threw that all out the fucking window.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna stop so we can talk about it next week.
Yes.
Because
But I mean, here's the other thing, just very quickly, as far as Crisis on Infinite Earths go, did you enjoy watching those episodes even though you didn't know most of those people in it? Did you enjoy Crisis on Infinite Earths?
I'm gonna say yes and no.
Okay.
I started off hating it.
That's fair.
True Blue started it off, was sitting there and like we were watching it all together and everybody was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I do not like anything that is happening right now. and they're like, but it's just, and I'm like, I do not like anything that is happening right now. And I just need to live with it and see where it goes. So just let me sit here and try to enjoy this. But like there's things in it that I enjoyed, so we'll talk about it.
All right.
Maybe I'll rewatch it real quick before we talk about it next week. But like there's things, and it's more. I have more things to talk about how it's affecting other shows. But we'll talk about it next week.
Because it's created what I think is a very weird writer's corner for fucking everybody.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
That's fair.
But
That's totally fair. Okay.
We're gonna hold that.
Let's wrap this. Yes, let's wrap up this week.
Sucker up. This is what Say Report Jr. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Go watch Buddy Thunderstruck. See Gentlemen. See Rhythm Section. I guess see
Gretel and Hansel.
You're recommending Gretel and Hansel. Right?
I am recommending Gretel and Hansel. I'm just saying that like it's a slow, quiet 87 minutes. Yep.
All right, fair enough. And watch DC shows, I guess, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes, I have to catch up on. I think there's at least 1, if not 2 episodes of Supernatural I got to catch up on now. Yeah. That ends this year. Oh my God, all my shows are ending. The Arrow series ended. It's over. Anyway.
I need ice cream. Oh, wait, you can listen to us on Spotify and other podcast apps. I just don't want to talk about DC. I don't want to fall into a hole of talking about DC.
Because it'll be another 2 hours.
I wanna go eat ribs. I just can't get in the hole yet. I think I need to rewatch Crisis before we talk about it.
Man.
But you can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on other podcast apps that you favorite or whatever. You can listen to us on YouTube by searching Say Report Jr. You can find us on not Instagram. I always want to say Instagram, but we don't have an Instagram.
That would require me to want to ever take photos of myself.
You don't have to take photos of yourself. You can take photos of things, Zach. Have you ever seen my Instagram?
I don't look at.
No, because
the answer is I've never gone on Instagram. Yes.
I know. But you can follow us on Twitter if you search Say Report Jr. at Say Report Jr. And you can follow us individually. I am at Dale's Brain.
I'm at Zerwitsky.
I need ice cream and ribs. Take it away,
Thank you for listening to the Say Report with your hosts Dayle Decker and Zack Sarowick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for the Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.